think.
Yes. So listen, everybody, we had a little mishap here. We jumped the gun. We didn't go live. Me and Hefe have been having a conversation like you all been here. Let's reset. Welcome. You guys are live with New York Revival. Your boy, Mr. Glass Apple, is here with El Jefe. We are here on a Tuesday night. We want to talk sports with you. We had a big day today, a very big day. Giants NFL cut day. We had to come live with you guys. You know, me and Jefe, we're out here juggling. We got 4 kids between us. We're juggling everything. Everything's going. But listen, we wanted to come here because this is our peace time. This is our time to talk sports with everybody. We come here, you know, to just release, get all our anger out, our happiness out, whatever it is that time of the week. Tuesday night, we are here at 8:30 with you guys, and we're loving that you guys are joining us too. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Jefe, big day today. Were you around the computer all the time? Were you tuned in with all the cuts that are going on? You know, what are your thoughts? Give us the thoughts of the day.
I feel like we're so tuned
Cheers,
in.
by the way.
Cheers. I'm taking tonight off, believe it or not. But cheers.
Right. Happens. Yeah, water's good. We need to hydrate.
Yeah, I had Carlos over last night, and we wound up playing NHL 2013 for like 3 hours last night. He won the best of series, and he owns me in that game. So,
anyway, way to go, Carlos.
We can't even. There's no opportunity to miss getting updated on anything that happens.
I know.
We're so roped in that, you know, like even during a Giants game, I have 8 different people texting me on every big play or their thoughts randomly throughout the game. We have all these Twitter notifications. I'm sure you get ESPN and NFL updates. So like you can't miss anything. We're very roped in. But big day. Maybe what was like the most surprising move to you today?
The surprising cut. I was, you know what, Quincy Roche. Roche. You gotta put that little accent in the end.
I said Roche today earlier. So
yeah. I said it.
But you also say Thibodeau, so I can't trust you at all.
You're right. Tibbs. No, you know what? That one was surprising. He was a guy that played decently for the Giants last year, and I know it's a different system, and I know he didn't show enough, this preseason. But I kind of thought he had like a scholarship almost because of his decent play, and that was one of the surprising cuts, especially considering Ojulari, he got hurt. Thibodeau has his 3 to 4 weeks, but on the flip side, I guess it kind of it kind of gives me a good feeling about them coming back early and being ready to go, because I feel like they wouldn't have gotten rid of Roche if that was the case, if they were
Roche kind of felt like a steal for us from the beginning, like pun intended, because I remember him looking good in Steelers.
I see what you did there.
See what I did there in Steelers camp, and then we got him basically for free, so it was like as if we drafted him. So it's just a little surprising that you keep Zimenez, who's at the end of his rookie deal. If they were even close, you go with youth there, right?
Right.
Don't you?
Right.
Like
absolutely.
If Zimenez plays well, you don't want to pay him. Very surprising move on that one.
I agree. What do you think about now Davis Webb? Were you a Davis Webb truther? Did you like what you can't not like what he did over the preseason, right? Like he lit it up.
I think.
Do you feel okay with letting him go?
I hope that he sticks around in a practice squad role or whatever. But it kind of makes sense why they brought him in. A lot of people think that Tyrod Taylor worked with Dable, and he didn't. Dable got to Buffalo right after Tyrod was gone.
Right.
But Davis Webb is familiar with him, so they may have brought him in because they might see Davis Webb as a smart guy who understands the offense, what we want to do. He can help in the quarterback room. The plan all along may have been to carry just 2 quarterbacks. And Davis Webb was there to, hey, like, come teach these guys, keep you in the league, keep you in a helmet, and you never know what could happen. You could impress in the preseason like he did. So that could lead to more opportunities for him. It could lead to the Giants. If one of our quarterbacks gets a bad injury, he becomes our backup if he's still available. So he did enough in preseason to look, serviceable. Obviously,
Right,
there's
100%.
there's no ceiling there. I think this same can be said about Tyrod Taylor. There's no ceiling.
Yeah, right.
But they're guys that could potentially go win you a game here. I mean, we won on our best win 2 years ago was Colt McCoy at Seattle, right?
True, very true.
So
And listen, Webb doesn't look like the same guy either. I go on, but like he doesn't look like the same guy that was originally with the Giants. He, something happened up in Buffalo.
something happened.
Something's in the water up in Buffalo. With those fucking dildos getting thrown on the field and shit like that. They do crazy shit, and whatever it was, Webb got that juice in him, and he's a different guy, man. He was slinging it from different arm angles. Like I remember when he was here the first time, like he had no touch. It was 100 miles per hour everywhere he threw it. Same arm angle, very statue. Like he was a statue back there. Now he's moving around. He's scrambling. He's throwing from different arm angles, putting some touch on it. He took a little bit of that mojo from Josh Allen, brought it over here. And listen, stash him on the practice squad. I'm hoping that he makes it to the practice squad because we got two injury-prone quarterbacks here. Let's call a spade a spade. Daniel Jones has been injured every single season. Tyrod Taylor is notorious for being injured almost every year. And, that's kind of worrisome that, I know you want to give that third roster spot, that third QB spot to somebody else on the roster. It makes sense. Like, you don't want to waste for a guy that's probably an emergency quarterback that might not even see it. But, you want to keep somebody around that's viable, and
they probably knew what they had in him, and then when he went off in the preseason a little bit, they were probably like, "Shit, it's going to be a lot harder to harder to hang on to him."
Stay under that radar. But now, listen. Well, go ahead.
There are a couple of surprising moves. Roche is definitely up there. I think that upset people. Do you know I actually got in an argument today on Twitter, which I usually try not to do.
I'm a sucker. Sometimes I eat the trash.
But it was my CJ Board post, which you know how I have felt about him for a long time.
Yes.
We don't get along. He doesn't do it for me. He never did. Not my type. He's just not the guy for me.
Just not your guy. Not your type.
I pretty much said something like he has 17 career receptions and he is no threat in the return game. So what are we doing?
What do you do here? It's this office space, right?
Yeah.
What did you say you do here?
In one practice, Richie James was one of the guys back there returning kicks. He flashed more in one practice than CJ Board has in years. Right. So just stop. Just let it go. He's and then some guy was coming back to me like, you think you know everything about the Giants. Little do you know he was the best special teams player we had. I'm like, on a horrendous roster, he was the best special teams player. Like, congratulations.
Special teams weren't even that good.
Right. And who's afraid of CJ Board? The guy was acting like we had Devin Hester back there.
Right. Like, do we remember? Can someone name off the top of their head one big play that he had on specials? No.
Non-specials, no. And he had one big catch in the first quarter against Atlanta, I want to say.
Yes.
In week 3, up the sideline. That was the last deep shot we took on the day. Yeah. That was the last good play
it was the first
he had as a Giant.
Yeah.
I'm over it, but I don't think there's any need to I've never seen somebody. I got blocked by that guy today. So.
Well, then I also saw somebody called you a Dallas Cowboys fan because how much you took on the hate today. You took on
they were coming after me today. I got called. Hey. I'm kind of proud of this. He called me an arrogant asshole. I was like, thank you. That's very nice of you to say.
Yes. Right.
And then much worse and more insulting, he said he hates everything Giants. He must be a Cowboys fan, something like that. It's like, come on, man.
Let's grow up here. Let's grow up, people. We can have different thoughts. I'm gonna be slinging names like you're a Cowboy fan up in here. Listen, we're gonna open up the phone lines here. We want everybody to get involved because it's a big day. Everybody's got their own. It's a very special time, and someone brought it up on Twitter today. It's like we all have these attachments to these players that we go through the camp with, and either there's so much feelings behind these random borderline NFL players getting cut or staying with the team, and everybody plants their flag. Everybody's got their guy, or they're either pissed that someone's cut or they're happy someone made it. But it's a weird time, and it's especially for the Giants because we're building this roster from scratch. There's a lot of shitty players here that we have gotten rid of, and I have some people from other podcasts we won't really talk about complaining about Austin Allen being like. really, like throwing a shit fit. I'm so frustrated. I can't believe this. Like, really, Austin Allen's your guy? Like,
That's where you draw the line.
That's where you want to. we love that we brought these coaches in, but we're not giving them a chance to build their own team without us judging them. Like, and that's Twitter in a nutshell, right there. Like, you have to rush to judgment, be the first, be angry about everything. But listen,
overreacting is what we do. That's in our DNA. There's no patience. There's no time. And with Twitter, you just got to get your thoughts out while you can get them out.
And Bobby Skinner said it best that he's like, you're just never going to be able to fight that. He's like, this is the way it is. You're going to have to deal with it. And I have to live with it. I have to just stop fighting people, stop eating the trash like we typically do, and get into these bickering arguments, you know?
I think I just realized today, we all knew that this is the first year for this head coach and GM, that it's going to take time. But for some reason, it's becoming more and more clear to me that this is a several year situation. And it is not, we're going to see glimpses. The offense is going to be more fun. The defense is going to be more aggressive. So the team will be a better brand of football. It'll be more fun to watch, but it's going to take years before the talent level catches up from good drafting, good prospecting, and like getting the right people in here.
Listen, I sorry I had to cut you short, but we have our best caller of all time.
Listen, no better reason to cut me off.
Number one.
Number one, let me say this. Man. I miss you guys. And I miss the audience too, man. Life is kicking me in the ass. So I just want to say I miss you guys. I miss doing this. I'll be back soon.
I miss you so damn much. I miss your
so damn much.
I miss you guys, man.
Good at you.
Same, man. I'm sorry, man. You know, life's kicking me in the ass, man. Freaking, you know, the stuff that pays the bills is kind of killing me. But man, what's going on? A very important day. I got a question. I don't know if you guys went through this, and forgive me if you did.
No, nothing yet.
All the people that were cut today, were you shocked? Were anyone like, was there any? There was none, no? There was none. Maybe Alex Bachman? Maybe Bachman?
Right. Our roster is not good enough, Eli. The roster's not good enough to be shocked by anybody that's got cut, really.
No.
We're getting upset at like practice squad. Like Bachman is very easy to root for. We interviewed him.
We love him. We love him.
Yes. Great dude. But like, I hope we laugh at this one day, how upset we are about losing practice squad players. Because this is a sad state of affairs when we're upset about a 6'8" tight end just because he's 6'8". We don't know anything else about him. But hey, he's a tight end and he's 6'8", so let's cry about it. Come on.
Well, listen, dude, it's scary.
And Speed, I'm sorry to cut you off, but you're absolutely right. I'm looking at Twitter, and these guys are sitting there, and they're like, I just can't believe it. We lost Bachman. I'm like, guys, are you kidding me? Like, what are we doing? Like, this is what we're playing. We're dying on this hill that we're losing practice squad guys. Yes, he had an incredible preseason. Yes, Eli. So did Davis Webb.
Eli's right. We need to be more selective about the hills we're willing to die on. Bachman is not that hill for me.
Hey, Tana, he says about anybody flipping out over these cuts, y'all need to just chill, man. You need to chill, and relax and listen. Let this coaching staff that we loved do their job. Let them pick the team that they want to pick, so at least they can go into the season with the guys they want. Like, why are we getting angry about what you care about over what the coaches care about that they know best about?
Everyone's like, in Shane we trust, and then they flip out at these moves. But Tana put out a good video today. It's like 12 minutes, so I recommend you guys check it out. But he goes through the roster, and got to give Tana credit because he pretty much predicted the roster down to the last spot. It was pretty damn accurate. But
listen, I just want to know what sex tape this. What sex tape does O'Shea Zimenez has? O'Shea Zimenez, what sex tape does he have? How the fuck did he make this roster?
He's got all the lives, like 9 of them, every single one.
I thought for sure, the one thing I was like, and again, I wasn't really mad at it, but I thought Roche would stay. I was like, man, Roche would probably get a roster spot and Zimenez to get the hell out of here. But I don't know.
I think the reason why he got over Roche is because at his peak, he could at least show some pass rushing ability. Whereas Roche, you know, he's not an elite pass rusher. He's not like so stout against the run that you need to keep him. He's a little bit of jack of all trades and a master at none. And at least, you know, O'Shea's a different kind of player. He's someone that could get up to the quarterback theoretically. He hasn't done it yet. I don't expect him to do it, but that's, I guess, their thought process. And let's say this: Wink is a master at linebackers. He knows his shit when it comes to linebackers. Everywhere he goes, linebackers turn into pro bowlers, and he puts them in the right place. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt here. He knows what he's looking for, and we'll go from there, man. We'll go from there. But hey, listen, guys,
I agree.
Before we get any further, I want to start taking some calls. Can you hang, or you have to leave? What's your deal?
Hey, I got another 5. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. I'm supposed to be in bed right now. Yeah, but
we're gonna bring in a special guest. Our first one in the queue here. R0B. What's up, baby? Let's go.
0B. Hold on, bro. Come on.
My bad. I don't have my. I'm live stream right now, so my cam's not working. But I'll do it for you anyway. Finally, R0B has come back to New York Revival.
Let's go. Let's go.
Baby. Let's go.
What's going on, gentlemen?
R0, what are you doing? How are we feeling? What was your thoughts on today? Because we had a long space. We talked a lot of talk. Yeah, it was fun. But a lot happened today. So let me hit you with something. Your number one position of need going forward, because we have our 53, but we know this is going to be a fluid process here. We're going to be adding. What's your number one position you want?
I would probably say my number one position would be the corner position is definitely where, would be my number one position of need. There were reports that Darius Slayton was being one of the teams that was interested in Darius Slayton was the Baltimore Ravens. And I kind of feel like if we're going to do a deal, it's going to be with Baltimore strictly because Wink has worked with all of those defensive backs. So he's very familiar with them, the starters and the backups. And I think that they want somebody that's kind of plug and play. So either somebody like a Jimmy Smith, who's a free agent, or what I would probably say would be like even today, like what's the guy's name? I think it's Daryl Worley, who's been in the league for about 7 years. He's 6'1", 205. Even Marcus Peters. I mean, he's 29 years old. I don't think that his contract is very heavy right now. Because I think he got the majority of his money from them. So you could bring him in on a 1-year deal, or if he's got 1 year left on his deal or a 2-year, you could probably bring him in for cheap. And then, at the end of the year, you decide what you want to do. If you want to stick around, rework his contract, keep him around. The guy could still play. He could definitely be a number 1, number 2 corner, in the league still, I believe. So that would be my position to need. I think if we're going to get somebody a corner, I think it's going to be probably from Baltimore roots. Maybe not directly from Baltimore, but a Baltimore rooted player.
Yes, true that, man. So, hey, you have any questions or you have any topics you want to talk about? What you got? What's on your mind? Man?
No, I mean, as far as when it comes to like what he stated before, like. As far as like any type of shocks, I don't think we were really shocked. I think the only thing that kind of shocked me a little bit, obviously, was like the Quincy Roche, like not bringing him back. And not because we didn't bring him back, but it makes me very optimistic based upon the fact that we didn't bring him back about KT and Aziz's return time frame. Because I look at it as the fact is if they were not or more than likely ruling. I mean, we're very thin at the outside pass rusher position as it is. So we don't really have a lot of people that are there. So I'm actually thinking that they're going to return week 1 and that they're actually going to be ready. To me, that makes the only logical sense. Unless we go out and they sign guys and they're bringing in guys that are way off the waiver wire, which wouldn't make any sense. Like, why would you bring somebody in off the waiver wire when you could have just re-signed Quincy Roche, who's been working with the system for the last 4 or 5 months, and now you're going to bring a guy in, you're going to have to teach him the whole stuff. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So to me, that was a shocker from an aspect that these guys are going to, I can almost guarantee that the disease and KT are going to be on the field against the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah. You'd like to think
that's my feeling on it. That's my feeling on it because they wouldn't have not brought him back for any other reason.
You hit the nail on the head. You hit the nail on the head. There was no doubt in my mind that they won't be ready for week 1 for some reason. Like, not to say that the injuries wasn't as significant, but let's be honest, it kind of wasn't. You know what I mean? So I knew they were going to be ready for week 1. That they was going to sit those guys, especially KT. You know what I mean? Especially that. So you hit the nail on the head, man. I think they'll be ready to go for week 1 and kind of contribute right then and there. I think they will manage their playing time a little bit, and you'll see Zimenez a little bit more in there. But I think they'll be ready to go, man. You hit the nail on the head, Rob. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I think they'll probably monitor them in practice and not really give them a whole lot of reps at practice to kind of not wear them out before the game. But I mean, that's just what, because I mean, when you look up MCL sprain, it's really like 3 weeks. So he's going to miss 3 weeks. You know, it's
Right,
2 weeks before the start of the season. He missed this past week. You know what I'm saying? So it's already 3 weeks. And with Aziz, it was just a tampered hamstring that was kind of lingering around. It's at the end of the day, you went through a whole practice and he was fine. Now you're doing sprints. You know, his body probably tightened up. He got a cramp. It was pretty bad. Pulled a muscle, and it happens. I mean, you could work that out in 2 weeks.
And keep in mind, this is just the initial 53-man roster. They're going to look to upgrade more spots. We obviously are going to bring in at least one more tight end. They're going to try and upgrade some corner positions. Could be like some ex-Baltimore guys, like you said. This is definitely not the final roster, but the fact that we may have Tibbs and Ojulari at full steam going into Nashville makes a world of difference to try and upset them in week 1.
Absolutely. And I said it in the space earlier. I was like, I think that Dable, like right now, when you really think about it, we're going into week 1 with kind of like a little bit of an advantage because we don't even know what the offense is going to look like, what we're going to do, what we can speculate all we want. Wan'Dale's going to be used this way. Saquon's going to be used this way. We really don't know. So, and neither do the Titans. So we legitimately have the advantage right now on offense. I guess you could say the element of surprise, where I think normally, right, you would keep an offensive weapon guy, if injury, whatever, as a game time decision. You would keep an offensive guy as a game time decision to kind of make the team guess. But in this regard, their offensive line, Tennessee's offensive line, hasn't been great. I think they have one great guy. Well, two. They have Ben Jones and Taylor Lewan, but they've lost some pieces. We know that Tannehill turns the football over. He is prone to turn the ball over. So I think they're using these two outside pass rushers as, hey, I don't know if they're going to play or not. Because now how are you going to really game plan offensively? You show up and they're ready to go and they're coming after you.
Maybe.
That's the Giants' best advantage going into week 1. There's no tape on them. They have no idea how they're going to deploy Wan'Dale Robinson all over the field. You saw a small taste of it. And they basically, I think, were being real careful in the preseason with how they were using him. And unfortunately, he almost got run over like 3 consecutive plays because they're not giving away any secrets. But if they can stop the run, if they can keep Derrick Henry somewhat in check, then you have a chance to win that game because the defense is going to come after Tannehill.
Right. I'm sorry, Robert Woods and Traylon Burks, they're not scaring me yet. They're not scaring me.
No.
So
they're going to have Tannehill try to beat them. They're going to have Tannehill try to beat them.
Appreciate you for coming through. We love you. Hopefully you stick around. Want to try and get you back on later. We're going to keep cycling through callers here, but we love you, baby. Thank you for calling in, man.
Love you guys too. Love you guys too, man. God bless you both. All you guys, man. God bless you.
All right, man.
They're going to make this a Tannehill game, guys. Hands down. If we stop, like you said, Henry, man, that's it. This is going to be a Tannehill game. And if we put the ball in Tannehill's hands, I think we can win. I think we can win this thing.
Big game for Blake Martinez, run stopper. He needs to be on his game right away. And you need Dex eating up blockers, letting Blake get to Henry, because that's the only chance we got. We have to, everybody's got to be. It's a team game and trying to stop that big boy from running. And he is a big boy. And let's hope he's a little rusty coming into week 1.
How about that for Blake Martinez? Like, welcome back on your rehab leg. How about Derrick Henry running at you all day, and that's your first day back? Hey,
listen,
Monty. Hey. Oh man, we got the whole family reunion here. What is this?
Let's go.
Big day, boys.
Big day. Yes.
Let's go.
Let's talk about the leader.
3 straight preseasons. He showed out. He finally fucking made the 53. He did.
I'm happy for you, Monty. I can't think of Hells and not think of Monty. So I'm happy for you, man.
Hell yeah,
Army. So listen, real talk here. Sills, is there any chance that he could be seeing some snaps week 1? Like he's shown a lot. Like, what's Galladay's leash here, guys? Like, what is his leash on getting primetime snaps. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Can I say this and then you guys can chop it up from here. But
Let's go.
if we think Galladay isn't a starting wide receiver or wide receiver one in this league, we got to be crazy now, right? We got to be nuts. So we'll still see some time. Maybe on certain packages we'll see him per se to give Kenny Galladay a rest, but Kenny Galladay is going to be that guy. Let's not sit here and drag this out like Kenny Galladay is like this bust guy. No, I think he'll be fine in week 1. Yes, the contract seems hefty or whatever the hell you can think of, but I'll tell you this, man, Kenny Galladay, he's no slouch, man. This is not. It's just maybe there's other issues that we haven't really, peeled back the onion on just yet, but Kenny freaking Galladay is going to ball, man. Sills ain't going to see no time. Dude, let's be honest.
I love Eli is leading this KG train. I see him out there doing heavy lifting on Twitter. He is all aboard the KG revival train.
I'm all aboard, man.
Plant your flag, baby. Plant that flag.
It's boom or bust, right? I mean, think about it. Come on. Let's really, really put on our caps here as content creators. Come on. Kenny freaking Galladay is gonna do his thing. Is gonna ball. Come on, guys.
Right.
Like everyone on Twitter is like beating this guy up, and I'm like, man, you're beating him up for the wrong reasons.
He's taking. You know what I mean? He is taking the brunt. Like Evan Engram left, and like KG just stepped right in and took all the bullets.
We need to have a villain. Man. We're always gonna have a villain.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah, listen, and as Giants fans, we do Daniel Jones one week, we do freaking Kenny Galladay the next, then we do Kadarius Toney. It's like, stop, all right? Like these guys are gonna go and do their thing. I hope, and listen, KG's gonna do well as long as this Daniel Jones does well, hands down.
Okay.
And I think Kadarius Toney too. I think Kadarius Toney is going to go out there and do his thing too.
We need him.
So but I don't know if Sills is going to be certain packages that you're going to see, and I'm rooting for the guy. I want to see him in there. But come on, people.
Listen,
here's
the thing.
Let's calm down here.
Monty, maybe you could correct me here. I don't think Sills is going to see a lot of special teams time. So it's like, why are you keeping some? So I feel like that for that reason alone, he might see more than like a couple of snaps. Like they have him on a team for a reason. Not just an emergency guy.
Yeah, I mean, I think they have a role in mind for him. I don't know how big it's gonna be. I think they see that connection he has with Daniel Jones that he's built up over this time, that he's been reliable for them. And this is a new coaching staff. They don't care about what you've done before. They're caring about what you're doing now for them. And I'm not necessarily think we're gonna come out and see David Sills starting week 1 or even anytime.
Yeah.
Hopefully everyone sees and we never see David Sills start as much as I love David Sills. But I mean, we saw it in Buffalo. There's a lot of wide receivers there who found their own roles, even if they didn't start. They found a bunch of different guys who carved out different roles. Sills in college was a guy who had 15 touchdowns 2 years in a row. Maybe you can find a red zone role. He had a lot of reliability there, it seemed, in the preseason, where he's always finding an open zone, and it seems Daniel would know where he was, and he would know where to be for him. So there's certain things there. And then to what Eli said with Kenny Galladay, I mean, the way I look at it with Kenny Galladay right now is the only way we can look at it is he's on this roster this year, so we just got to hope that he's good. He can be who we wanted him to be. And this in preseason only matters so much. We can't just cross him out yet. But at the same time, if we do get to the regular season, he struggles, what he's getting paid or what we paid, that doesn't matter to these guys. He'll not see the field if he's not performing. Hopefully that's not the case for our money going the longest. Hopefully he plays well, but he's going to get a shot year, I think.
I agree,
true.
Bro.
And
I agree.
He's not wrong. And again, we hope that I feel like maybe they're just not showing what they want to do with Kenny Galladay. Hopefully that's the thing. But listen, I'm hoping that to God that Kenny Galladay proves us all wrong. But you know what? When you brought up that Buffalo point about them using multiple
Kansas City too. Kansas City does that too.
Can he be this offense's Gabriel Davis? Just that specialty shot guy that's just going to just score touchdowns because everybody sleeps on him. But there's this connection there with Daniel Jones. What, Monty? That's why they pay you the big bucks, baby. That's right.
That's why we pay Monty the big
bucks. I'll see those eventually.
That's a good point because that we have pieces of Kansas City and Buffalo's offense, and there's not many teams where I know their fifth wide receiver. And Kansas City is one of those teams they would have Was it Robinson and then Pringle and then Hardman?
Yes.
All these guys not named Tyreek Hill and Kelsey that you somehow got to know. So like we can do that.
Yeah.
You can use these different guys.
And none of them were putting up 600 yards, but you had a guy who was relevant every week. Nobody
Yes.
were like you talking, you guys big fantasy football guys. Nobody you want to have a fantasy football team, but as far as relevant for real football, is they had guys who would help in different ways depending on who they were facing, and help the team win football games. I think that's
Absolutely,
what we say with it.
Absolutely, Monty.
All right, maybe just real quick. This may be stupid idea. Just Eli thinking, gears are turning. Maybe I'm half tired.
Let's go.
But do you think Sills could not to say as a tight end, but maybe like a bunch formation kind of in that slot, like a tight end? You think he'll be using something like that? Maybe he got the size, right?
Yeah,
like, would that be far fetched to think of? I don't know.
mean, the way they use a lot of these tight ends nowadays is just a big slot, and if he's not sitting there trying to block linebackers, I don't see why he can't fill a role like that, just being a big slot receiver. You're just not tricking anybody or running with Sills. That's the only thing.
Right.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
He's not going to be blocking anybody on the line.
Definitely not. But I can see him in some sort of package where he's kind of in that slot. Like if it's a tight end, go out and catch the ball. I can see that.
Hey,
I don't know.
I like that. I like where your head's at. Yo, Monty, we appreciate you. I hope you stick around. Maybe we're gonna have to cycle through, but I love you, man, and thanks for coming through as usual, man.
Thanks for the time.
Peace, man.
Later, Mark.
FA, how much time you got? You got a bounce, or you got another caller in you?
I will say hi to this next caller. I don't know who it is because you're in charge tonight.
He's a day oneer. He's a day oneer. Let's say that. We got.
Does he have a big?
Let's go.
Mayhem. Let's go.
Yes. Let's go.
Let's go, Sarge.
Am I on the right podcast? Is this Dallas Cowboys revival?
Yeah.
This is
Dude, I read that tweet. Yo, Hefe, what the hell was that about?
I don't know. The crazies were out today.
That guy talking about?
But he
There's
also
a lot of
said,
energy
goodness.
today.
It's
Because I
cut
don't
down day.
follow
People
him.
are losing their minds.
But he said,
Good
I don't follow
Lord,
him,
man.
but he hates the Giants. So, like, what are you talking
Yo,
about?
he was like so extra pissed off at you. He's like, man, this is why I hate Hefe. This is why he's a terrible Giants fan. I'm like, God, really, bro? Like, you really woke up to like write a paragraph and say this? What the hell's wrong with you?
This
Like,
tattoo on
you
my
know,
A lot
leg
of blood
says I
today.
like the
It
Giants a lot.
was great. It was freaking great.
Nuts, bro.
Hey.
Nuts.
Sarge, so tell me, who was your one guy that you saw that was cut that you were kind of pissed off about?
I didn't have one.
Because nobody's going to get that.
I didn't have one, but I will say this.
There you go.
One guy I
Good.
was excited to see make the 53,
Yes.
Calitro.
Ooh, I like.
I wonder if it was
I mean-
him over Roche or something, just because of what he did in the preseason. Like it had to come down to those last few
Yeah,
spots.
man. Austin Calitro, he balled out and made the 53. You love to see it, man. You love to see
Love
it.
to see it. And you know what? I'll throw another name out there. And he didn't play at all, which I think this bodes even better for him. Rodarius Williams, a carryover from the last regime, and one of the few guys that could play tough man-to-man defense on the outside as a cornerback. They kept him around, so they see something in him that they really wanted because he didn't play all preseason. And that's a guy you want to keep your eye on because Baron Robinson keeps his ass struggling on the outside. There's not many people that can replace him, and Rodarius Williams could be it. He saw some pretty decent time last year before he got hurt. So, keep an eye out for Rodarius. I'm happy for the man that he stuck around. That was one for me. Jeff, do you have one guy that you like? I like that they kept this guy. Or no, you just nothing yet that it's on your radar.
Well, yeah, like Daniel Jones, I think is a guy I'm glad that they are keeping for this year.
Yes, true, very true.
Give him a shot.
Look, we're not rolling out Davis Webb at QB1.
Hey,
no, a lot of fans wanted that apparently.
There's some serious heat behind it.
True.
My
It's
favorite thing about Giants Twitter is the absolute overreactions to everything.
Yeah.
It's like, guys, what you saw in practice is one thing. They're practicing things that nobody's seen yet. We're not in the meetings with the coaches or the players. Let's forget about what we've seen in preseason. This is nuts, guys. Week 1, when we play Tennessee, you are going to see things that you haven't seen at all. And you're going to be like, where did that come from? What are they doing? What's going on? And everybody is just going to be like, I don't understand. Where did this come from? We never saw any of it. Of course not. This is the 21st century, right? They don't want all of this stuff streamed all over Twitter because guess what? There are every other team in the NFL has people in their social media department who are following every other team and their content creators, the beat writers, the podcasts. They're following these people. They're trying to figure out. These guys are scouting.
They could be watching us.
Titan scouts were all up in our games for 100%.
100%.
Yeah.
So when we touch down in Nashville week 1, we're going to show them stuff that they've never seen before, and we're going to be the ones who are surprised. We're going to be the ones who go like, what is like pre-snap motion and all of this other stuff?
We haven't seen any of that yet.
It's going to blow our minds. It's going to blow our minds.
Oh, I can't freaking wait, man. Like, it's so I know that like we moved from the 4 games to 3 games, and I love that, to be honest with you, because I wouldn't want to send our players out there for one more week. It was just going to be a chance of more injury. And you know, we gotten enough from the 3 games, I think, to know if these guys are going to be good contributors or not. But now that this extra week in between, it's going to feel like a month. It's going to feel like a month till Tennessee. I'm going to be chomping at the bit. Like you said, like we don't know what to expect. So that leads, like it amps us up even more to just be so, I'm going to be so crazy come week 1 that I'm just going to explode. I'm going to explode.
Yeah, like, and we have reasons to be excited this time. We're not going there with a Jason Garrett offense.
No Jason Garrett offense.
We're going there with the best of the Chiefs and Bills and an absolutely psychotic defensive coordinator. So you're going there like
bad, even if we're bad this year, we're going to be entertaining.
Right.
We're not losing fun again.
This is
hashtag fun again. Let's go.
I don't want to lose, but the thing is, we're going to be competitive and we're going to be watchable. You know, we're going to have highlights.
That's how low the bar is, guys. I'll be able to.
I'll take that. As long as it's entertaining, I'll take it.
The bar doesn't need to be that high. We're in year 1 of a rebuild.
Win a couple games, get a couple turnovers, score close to 30 points or more every once in a while. Just keep us entertained because last 2 years have been a shit show and have been unwatchable. Like I never turned off more Giants games in my life than over the last 2 years. Like literally out of disgust, I can't watch anymore. QB sneak 2 times in a row. I was like, done, power off. I'd rather watch a black freaking screen than that offense.
I'm gonna end on this note because then I got a boogie. But this team is going to throw punches this year. There is going to be no laying down. And like that's the best way I could sum it up. This team is going to take shots downfield, be creative on offense, and come after your ass on defense. So give me all that. Give me all that as a brand of Giants football. And then as they're able to upgrade the roster year over year, we're going to get back to being a regular playoff team. I believe that.
Absolutely, man. And,
with that,
Hefe,
I love you guys.
We love you, man. Peace out.
We'll talk soon.
Love you, man. Miss you, bro.
I miss you too, Eli. Come on, bro.
Hey,
let's get back.
I'm coming for you guys tomorrow. I'm coming for you guys to fantasy. Me and Hefe have a fantasy draft tomorrow, and I'm gonna come for that.
Are you actually coming over or no?
I'm still working the logistics out.
Okay, we'll talk about it.
Don't be out yet.
When somebody says they're coming for my ass, then I start to clench up a little bit.
On that note, peace out, dude.
By the way.
On that note, hey Sarge, got anything on your mind, man? Like you want to come with any topics, or you just want to hang, man? And that's cool if you want to hang.
I'm good to hang, man. I'm good to hang.
I love you, man.
By the way, man, I like that flag back there. By the way,
yeah, I'm gonna keep cycling through the callers. Hang with us.
It's a blanket.
I love it. Sarge, I love you, man. I'm gonna keep cycling through, but thanks for coming through. We appreciate you as always, our day oneer. And we'll try and get you back at the end of the show, my man. Peace. Hey, we got another special guest here. E, are you hanging? Are you hanging, or can you? I think you need to hang around here. We got
You're
Big
telling me
Dash.
to hang? I should hang. Oh,
Big Dash. Let's go.
What's going
Let's
on,
go.
fellas?
I gotta hang for Big Dash now. I can't even like freaking hang up now. This is crazy.
How's it going, fellas?
What's going
What's
on,
good,
Big Dash?
buddy? How you doing?
I'm here to defend the 6'9" tight end that you guys were talking about earlier.
Let's go.
No,
We
not
want
really.
We want that perspective. Let's go. What you
Not
got
not
on
really,
Allen?
but no, I mean it is what it is. I'm not as mad
Yeah.
at that than I am about Roche.
Yes.
You know, the Roche one hurt.
That'll probably be the one. That'll probably
Yeah.
be the one, Roche.
And like I said, I think we'll see what happens. I think he gets picked up, so I don't think we get a chance to put him on the practice squad. But I like the way the conversation was moving. We started talking about week 1 in Tennessee, and I agree with everything Sargent was saying. Yeah, we don't have a clue what this offense is going to look like, and that's the exciting part about it. I'm not as excited as a lot of people are about Sills because I don't think he's going to get as much play time as a lot of people think.
Let's
I
hope not.
agree.
Like, in the best
agree.
case scenario,
I agree.
he doesn't see the field all season long. Like, you know what? I want Kenny Galladay ball out. I want Tony to stay on the field. I want
Now
the
Kenny
to show, you know.
No, absolutely. Now, and the Kenny Galladay thing, I know vibes, man. You're the conductor on the train for Kenny Galladay.
True.
I will give you that. I did see I saw the tweet. I saw the tweet earlier.
Thank
you know, I hope you're right. That's all I can say.
I
That's all I can say.
We all hope it.
I hope you're right because, man, I have a lot of doubt in my heart right now with Kenny Galladay, man.
Obviously,
and it's not
what you've been seeing, from Kenny Galladay, there's a lot of doubt. But
you know what's crazy?
Good.
Yeah, the crazy part about it is we already like the route running. That's one thing. But have you guys seen the clips of him blocking?
Yeah.
Did you see the clips that they put up?
I'll say that one play. That one play was an RPO, and all he had to do was supposed to wall off everybody.
All he had to do was stand in front of him.
It looked so bad because he was just lollygagging around, and he's already again. He doesn't get the benefit of the doubt anymore because
no, absolutely,
he's got
that's exactly what it is.
That thing about him that everybody's already like, you know what? He's not showing the effort, and that could just be his personality. But when he's
in the doghouse,
when you have that one bad season, a bad preseason, and people are seeing you kind of lollygagging around, it's just not doing yourself any favors. And I don't know, man.
You know what?
To get a break right now.
it kind of started with that the scrimmage, and I never gave him the blame for on that play because he slipped, and also Daniel Jones was throwing it away. So it didn't start there with me. It was it was the actual preseason games, and even though he wasn't targeted a lot, the chances that he did get, we saw some of the effort. And a guy making the $72 million, if a ball hits you in the breadbasket, you catch it. No matter what Dable said the day after that, he said, the throw was low, but you make $72 million to catch footballs. Catch the damn football. You know what I mean?
These are facts. These are facts, man.
Yeah. But yeah, I love what you guys are doing. I know you guys are rotating guys, and I don't want to take up too much time. It's dinner here on the West Coast. The pizza man just came by and dropped my food off. The kids are already going. I got 3 boys, so if I want to get something to eat, I got to get in there before they kill it. But again, I appreciate you guys for hanging out, man. Let me hang out with you guys. You guys, and vibes, man. See you when you come back, man. See you when you come back.
I appreciate you.
Have a good one.
Peace.
Later.
Man. Peace.
Sweet, man. This is like a long, stupid vacation. Like I took a vacation and then still had to go to work. It was terrible. So
we missed it, man. Listen,
I miss you guys. I haven't been active either.
2 weeks. You got 2 weeks to get. We all got 2 weeks now to get our asses in gear. And because I'm not there, but we're all not there yet. The real season, the bullets start flying on September 11th. I guess it is. It's September 11th. Yeah. So
shout out to the missus, man. That's her birthday, so for sure I'm looking forward to it. You know what I mean? Looking forward to it.
Let's go. Yes, let's go.
So I'm looking forward to it, man. It's gonna be great. What's the number? 2 weeks, I guess. I don't even know when,
man.
but yeah,
it's gonna get up on us quickly. And right now, again, we're not gonna have a lot of content over the next. Well, we will actually, because we're gonna have some new additions. And I want to get your over under here. And hold on, we're gonna bring someone in here. Can you hang out for a little bit longer?
For you, Speed, anything, man.
Let's go, because we got a big guest here. A big guest. Let's bring him in. Mr. Tainer himself.
Goodness.
Let's go.
Listen, man, I'll tell you this, man. It is an honor and a privilege to have the entertainer talking sports on here, man. Let me tell you.
Cheers.
It's an honor and a privilege. Cheers, my brother. Thank you for your time, man.
What's
I feel
going
like
on?
I'm underdressed. I feel like I'm underdressed for this occasion here.
You're underdressed. I'm wearing a wrinkled t-shirt. You're under.
I just got a picture.
But no, man, it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure getting to meet you guys at FanFest. I love the community you guys are building. Looking forward to having you guys on my channel as the season goes away. And,
man, we would love it. We
would
would love it.
Love what you guys. Right now, here's the invite. I don't know if all you guys are going to be free, but night before.
Let's go. Let's go.
I always do a hype up stream where I have a bunch of content creators on. So all you guys are welcome to come on for, 15, 20 minutes, whatever it may be. But yeah, man, really excited about the upcoming season. Really excited to talk about whatever you guys want, man. Just sports in general. But just want to come on and vibe with you guys tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey,
Listen, we haven't talked about this one thing, E, and I want to bring it up. So they named the captains. There's about half the team is captains, but you got a lot of guys.
It's like the longest captain list ever.
I like the guys that were on the list though, and some of them were surprises. A guy for me that I was very excited to see. Well, no, there was three guys. There was McKinney, Thomas, because those guys are young core guys that they're voted by their teammates to be leaders of this team. So you love to see that right off the bat. And then I love Julian Love, man. I have this thing for Julian Love because I feel like he's that glue guy that
his
never
reaction
gets credit.
Was the best. His reaction.
Oh my God, the best.
Yes,
Absolutely the best. And he genuinely got emotional about it. And he's just one of those guys. I don't know. Maybe it's I'm a sucker because I feel like I was always a glue guy in our sports teams, and I was like, never get the notoriety, but you keep the team together, and you're in the background making sure everybody's in the right place. And I feel like Love is that guy, and I love that he's going to get an opportunity this year to show his talents. So and Tanner, what's your take on the captains? Anybody you like any more than
yeah? I mean, first off, I think we may rename our team to the New York Captains because we have 10. So
a lot of leaders on this team.
Like when you have
longer
10
than a CVS receipt.
Doesn't that diminish the value of the captain when 20% of the roster are captains? Normally it's 6 or 7, but the offense was exactly what I expected. I thought, obviously, because Barkley and Jones have been captains for, I think, 2 years coming into this year, maybe Barkley for 3 years coming into this year. And Nick Gates was the captain last year in line, but he's hurt. So I figured they'd give it to Thomas. He's the up-and-comer on the offensive line. So that was status quo. That's exactly what I thought. On the defense, I thought if you would have asked me before all this who was going to be the captain, I thought they'd go with a traditional 3. And I would have said Lon Williams. I would have said Blake Martinez. And I would have said Xavier McKinney. Martinez, of course, was the captain the 2 previous years. So the only real surprise to me, because I'm not going to consider Love a surprise because they were just giving out captains like it was Oprah. The only real
get a captain. You get a captain.
Yeah. Yeah. But the only real surprise to me, I guess, was Dexter Lawrence. Not to say he doesn't deserve it. He's young. He's an up-and-comer guy that we hope is going to be here for the next 5 or 6 years. So I'm excited about it. But I figured they'd give it to Blake, being that he's been the captain the last 2 years. But,
right.
Outside of that, I was happy with the selections.
Absolutely. And so, okay, let's talk about this. You're the one guy that they kept that you wanted to have on the team the whole time, and you were a borderline bubble guy. Is there anybody that stuck out for you?
What do you mean? A guy that I'm happy they kept, or a guy?
Yes, happy that they kept. Yep.
I mean, there's a couple of guys I'm like excited about that may have been on the bubble just for them individually, not necessarily because I think they're going to have tremendous value on this year's roster. But David Sills is the first name that pops out to you, and I heard you guys talking about it before. I don't think Sills is going to have
Monty is Sills Army, baby.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to have much of an impact on this team. And if we're being honest, the only real reason he made the team probably is because Colin Johnson went down with an injury. Colin Johnson was playing terrific, and I think that would have been his spot had he not gone down with the injury. But regardless, I'm happy for Sills. The guy's been competing to make this team now for 3 years. So he was the first guy that I was really happy for in terms of those bubble guys. Owen Fox too, man. Like undrafted free agent coming from North Carolina. He had 9.5 sacks, I think, his last year in college. And he was a guy who was pulling forward, looked great in the second preseason game where I think he had that huge hit at the end of the game. Had a sack, I think a forced fumble, if I'm not mistaken. So I was excited for him as well. Like in terms of back end guys, in terms of the fan overreaction, like calm the hell down. We go through this every freaking year. Last year, if you would have listened to the fans, you would have thought that Corey Coleman was the next Jerry Rice when people were flipping out the impact up by the New York Giants. And this year, I got fans telling me that, they made such a mistake cutting Davis Webb and Alex Bachman. Davis Webb was throwing balls against McDonald's workers.
Right.
And Alex Bachman is a fifth-string slot receiver. We have 4 other slot receivers on this roster, so neither one of them were ever going to make the team. I get the Quincy Roche thing. I liked Quincy Roche. I was happy when we were able to pick him up last year when the Steelers cut him. But at the end of the day, tell yourself this if you're a Giant fan. Is Quincy Roche really going to determine whether or not we win or lose games this year? And you got to trust the coaches. You got to trust the GM. And I think what they came to the conclusion is that a guy like Zimenez fits the defensive scheme more so than a guy like Quincy Roche. That's it.
And you know what? I think looking back, right? I think you can kind of predict that this was going to be the 53. You can kind of predict who was going to be cut. You know what I mean? So this is why it's not a shocker to people like us or maybe most people, is that you can kind of predict these people were going to go. So I'm not shocked at all on how this played out. You know what I mean? I'm just like, man, okay, I'm going to trust the staff and kind of go from there. I'm not shocked by these cuts at all. These were all practice squad players, B players playing against another B players or second, third stringers on another team. So, of course, it looked a little bit better, especially with a veteran like Davis Webb. He's been in the league forever. So he's supposed to look good against second and third stringers at that point.
Exactly.
So it's not a big shock. It's not the end of the world, Giants fans. Calm down.
What did everyone say? RELAX. Relax. Everybody just need to relax.
And on that note, gentlemen, have a good night. Saying it's always a pleasure. We'll keep in touch. But Speed, love you, man. I'll talk to you soon, brother.
It's fun talking to you. Be good.
Same, my brother.
I will say, when we lose you, I will say that the two guys that kind of, and again, these are not guys that would have changed the season, but depth at the safety spot was getting kind of thin to begin with. And then, so they let go of Andrew Adams, and then Metters and Thompson were two guys that were playing well during the preseason. And I was kind of shocked that they just, easily let them go. And it kind of made me think, hey, maybe they're looking at safety here. They have to be looking at safety.
Yeah, I actually
Jefferson, hopefully.
Yeah, I think Jefferson definitely makes sense because his ties to Wink. But I actually tweeted that when I saw the roster a little bit later than everybody else because I think I was at the gym when it came out, and when I got out, I saw it, and that was the first thing that stood out to me. I'm like, 3 safeties, like
very interesting.
You have to think that the New York Giants are going to bring somebody in, and the fact they got 12 linebackers. I don't know if they're going to get cut or maybe they're going to put one of those guys on like the injury list. I know like Ellerson Smith's a little bit banged up. Shane Lemieux, they may be able to do something with that because I know he's a little bit banged up right now. So maybe none of these guys get knocked off the roster. Maybe they get put on some kind of injury list. It gives us an IR. But for sure, I mean, safety is definitely. I think they have to. You can't go into the year with 3 safeties. We're gonna have instances where we have 3 safeties out there at once. So you gotta go into the year with another safety. And I look at the rest of this roster, man, and I think we need to add a tight end. I think we need to add at least another lineman, if not 2. I think we could use a swing tackle, interior offensive lineman. And I think those are the areas that I'm going to be looking at for the New York Giants to add some players over the next couple of days.
So you're over the next couple of days. I'm going to set this at 4.5 additions. Over under. What do you think? Can they fit 5 guys? Because they need 5 guys. Let's call a spade a spade. They probably need 5 guys. But salary cap is what it is. So you can only do so much. 5 guys, 4 guys, 3 guys. What are you thinking here?
And Sinner said cornerback is 2, of course. That's another huge need as well.
Yes. Well, Julian Love is a chess piece, though, right? Julian Love could move to corner or safety depending on what you get. So, yeah.
That is a tough number because that's right around where it happened.
I know.
4 or 5 moves. I'll go over. I'll go 5. Okay. But I could definitely see 4. I think it's right there. I think that's the perfect spread. 4 or 5. Yep. Like I said, I think those are the areas they'll add the pieces: corner, safety, interior line, swing tackle. That's what you're looking at. So,
absolutely.
But I'll go with 4 instead of 5.
Okay. Hey, listen. Enough about Giants talk here. Let's talk about something else that are both of our minds here.
Yeah.
And the rest of baseball fans out there. New York baseball. We're coasting along here. We're getting towards September. Yeah. It's getting towards the end of the season. The Mets have gone through a brutal part of their schedule in August. They look like they're a little bit gassed, but now comes the litmus test. The Dodgers come to town, the best team in the league, arguably, if not at the very least NL. What are your thoughts on the Mets here? Is this offensive slump? Is it a mirage? Are they just drained right now? What are your thoughts going into to September and how this team's wrapping up the season, man?
Yeah, we'll see how they do tonight. I know they're tied 3-3 right now, but the Dodgers.
I know it's tight. It's tight.
Yeah, I mean, I listen. I think there's some blemishes to this team for sure. It's not a perfect team, but it's rare you find many perfect teams throughout Major League Baseball. You definitely struggle against left-handed pitching. But with our schedule after the Dodger series, of course, we should clean up.
It's juicy. Real juicy.
I mean, what do we got? I think we got 33 games left going into this series. So out of those last 30 games, 24 against like 5 of the bottom 7 or 8 teams in all of baseball.
It's time to eat. It's time to eat.
And I think they will, but you still worry about the Braves because it just seems like whoever the Braves play, it doesn't matter. And it just feels like at the end of the year, that Braves series is going to determine who's going to win this division.
100%.
That's what it feels
100%.
like.
It's now 4-3. By the way, a little update for everybody. Dodgers scored. Listen, I think, and I don't want to get on Epler because I think he's done a lot of great, but not getting that other pen arm is going to be costly. And I just hope the only hope at this point is that McGill comes back and Drew Smith comes back and they could just be the arms, the filler arms.
Peterson too.
And Peterson, yes. Peterson worries me because I feel like he's not going to be a true pen guy. I feel like he takes a little bit of time to warm up. But Joely Rodriguez can't be your go-to in a big matchup against like a Freddie Freeman when you need to, and it sucks. And again, Joely Rodriguez lets up the run just now. It's going to hurt if that's what is the difference between the Mets going really long into the postseason or not. This damn bullpen, I feel like always.
And it was the most obvious blemish.
It was right there. It was like right there.
We all knew it as fans. It was like I liked what they did outside of that. Like they got the nice platoon at the DH. Naquin was a nice little pickup in terms of depth in the outfield and a lefty bat. I like that, but the most obvious need was a left-handed reliever. And if not a left-handed reliever, you needed to get like a much better reliever.
Really good. Can't be Gibbons. This is the only guy. But.
I think that's the biggest key to the postseason, though, is exactly what you just said, is these starters transitioning into the bullpen. Because outside of Ottavino and Diaz, I don't trust anybody. So it's
got a Jolie hater over here.
Maybe Lugo, but
So I know. Lugo's looking a little better.
But he's hot and cold.
Yes.
But it's going to come down to McGill. Like McGill's going to be so. I don't know how long you've been watching the Mets.
It's been since 95, 96.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back to 2000. Glendon Rush was a very a very underrated. What's the word I'm trying to come up with here? I don't. Whatever it was, he had a big.
He wasn't a big name. Yes, he wasn't a big name, but he made a big impact
in those playoffs because they used 100%. Him out of the bullpen, and he pitched great in those playoffs. We need that from one of the.
Someone's got to step up. Somebody's got to step up.
We need McGill to do what Rush did in 2000. Like that's going to help fill the void. But obviously, you're going to extend Diaz if need be in the playoffs. So we'll see. I love the starting pitching. I mean,
absolutely.
Scherzer, Bassett. I mean, come on.
You got to hope they go 6+ almost in every big game. Like they got to go 6+, 7 in a perfect world, 7. But listen, the Mets are going to coast in the playoffs. I'm not worried about that yet, wild card or not. I just the offense now. Like, do we worry about the offense if Alonso and Lindor aren't hitting? It gets sketchy there. It gets sketchy.
Kana's been doing really good.
Yes, you're right. Kana's been. He's been a surprise. I thought he was a good just depth player, but he's been way more than that. He's carried this offense.
He's been our big clutchest hitter the last month and a half. Yes. I still think we have a good lineup. I'm not saying it's great, but I think they'll heat up against like this soft part of their schedule and hopefully build some confidence going into the playoffs. But I obviously worry. I mean, we haven't hit left-handed pitching all year, so we'll see. No, but I do like the lineup. I think Marte's a good hitter. I think McNeil's a good hitter. And I think we have the type of lineup that should play well in postseason baseball.
Yes.
Because guys like Nimmo, guys like Kana, guys who see a lot of pitches, that usually translates well in postseason baseball.
It was like, you know what, and I compared it to the pesky ass freaking Royals that just would not strike out, and they always made contact. And this Mets team, they do all the right things fundamentally. They play good defense, and they put the ball in play. That alone should keep it with their elite starting pitching, should keep them in most, if not all, games. Because even when the Mets lose, they're not getting smoked. It's typically a tight game, and they just can't get a run in. That some bullshit happens. But listen, we're both going to feel good about it. I hope me and you get out to Citi Field at some point.
Man. Definitely,
yes, at some point soon.
Let me know, man. Yeah, I'll definitely make a trip out there. But I've been to about 5 games this year. But I want to go to some playoff games for sure.
That's it. Standing room. Give me standing room only. I don't even care.
I did.
That's the best thing to do.
Yeah, I went to the 2015 NLCS Game 1 against the Cubs, and standing room only. I paid like $100. Standing room only.
Yeah, because I don't want to be in the seat the whole time anyway. I'm too jacked up.
Were you there? Were you there for the playoffs at 15?
I was at the Cubs game where they destroyed. I forget what game it was. They destroyed them. It was like 10-2. Cespedes hit a home run, and the route was on. I forget what game it was exactly, but
at least the game I was at, and I'm gonna assume it was the same for you.
Yes.
Every seat was standing room only.
There
was no sitting the entire game, no matter where you were sitting. So my advice for somebody that may not want to go out there and spend $600 to go to a playoff baseball game, get standing room only, get there early, and make sure you get a good vantage point. But
box some people out on the bridge or whatever you got to do. And have yourself a time. But listen, Tana, I appreciate you coming through. Appreciate you talking some sports to us. Listen, we're gonna do this again. Either your podcast, our podcast. We got fall baseball coming up. We got Yankees, Mets. We got Giants football starting up. It's a great time of the year. And for us guys that are multi-sports watchers, hey. Oh, speaking of which, one last thing for the Knicks fans out there, give us your thoughts on the RJ Barrett signing and possibly losing out on Donovan Mitchell. Go on.
Yeah, the initial words that came out last night and it got all Knicks fans nervous and upset was that this now basically makes it so we're not going to be able to trade for Donovan Mitchell. And then people retracted on that today. I love it. Regardless of whether we get Donovan Mitchell or not, I am so happy that the New York Knicks did not fold to the pressure because we all know Danny Ainge's reputation is he wants to, if fair value is 3 first-round picks, he wants 9. He's a guy
he's a little bit of a douche.
He rips you off, and the Knicks didn't fold. And right now, the Knicks have all the leverage in this situation because there's nobody that can come close to what the Knicks can offer with all the first-round picks and young players that the New York Knicks have to offer. So I love that they stood strong, and I love that they signed RJ Barrett. And the deal's a really good deal. It's 4 years. It's $100 million. It was reported.
It's very economical. Smart move.
He's getting basically Fournier got paid, and he's 22 years old. He's an ascending player. It could be up to 120, but that's if he hits his incentives. And if he does, you're happy to pay it because that means he has to make an All-Star team. That means he needs to make an All-NBA team. So I love the deal for RJ Barrett. You get a young player. It's the first time the Knicks extended a first-round draft pick since 1999.
Dude, wild. And the fact that some people even had an issue with it. Finally, you've got a young ascending player that you could lock up and just have a core player for the first time, like you said, in 2 decades. Two decades. Yeah,
and I love Barrett, man. I know Knicks fans seem to be hot and cold on him. I love Barrett. I don't know if he's going to be a superstar, but I think he can be an all-star. I think he's a very good player. And the other thing that I love about Barrett, his personality, his vibe, it feels Eli to me in the sense that I like that. It doesn't feel like anything bothers this guy, and I feel like he has the mental makeup for New York. And he's an easy 100%. Guy to work for,
he's no Julius Randle. Let's just say that.
Yeah, exactly.
No, listen. As a Net fan, I'm happy for Knicks fans that they finally got seem to have guys that know the direction they want to go, and now. Leon Rose, is that the GM name? Sorry. Yeah. They're holding their feet to the fire. Ainge's feet to the fire here, and they're making him make a move for something lesser than what he wanted. And I like that about it. Force their hand. Don't be the guy that overspends. If Donovan Mitchell comes, great. If not, you keep building through the draft. You keep building the right way. I like the Brunson signing. I like what they did with Barrett. So they're headed in the right direction. And finally, it seems to be a direction that might turn some wins down the road. Hopefully, as a New York basketball fan.
I really like the Brunson signing too. If it results in more moves, I think it's the type of move that,
right?
And I think it will. I think in the end we're going to get Mitchell, but it's the type of move that if you make that move, you're accelerating the process. And if you do that, we all know the Knicks need a lot more pieces in order to compete for the championship. So I like the Brunson move. We needed a point guard, and you think about how he's going to improve all the other players around him. Not that Brunson's Jason Kidd, but our point guard last year was Alec Burks.
It's a facilitator that they haven't had for years. They have not had a good guard in forever. So
so you think about guys like Obi Toppin. You think about guys like Mitch Robinson. It's going to be a lot easier for guys like that on the lob plays. RJ Barrett on the perimeter.
Yes.
It should improve everybody, including Julius Randle, who makes a lot of stupid decisions when he's kind of like the facilitator. He's not going
to get the ball out of his hands.
Get the ball out of his hands. Let him play off the ball more. Agreed. So I like the Brunson signing. I just think we need to make a few more moves to make this a true title contender. If we get Mitchell, great. I still think we need to make another move in addition to that. Not this year, but over the next 2 or 3 years. But you look at this roster: Mitchell, young. Barrett, young. Brunson, young. So you have a young core. It's not like when we traded for Carmelo when you had Mark Stoudemire who had 90-year-old knees. Tyson Chandler.
That was pieced together the wrong way. I feel like. Agreed. The way they're heading, all these guys are going to be still in their prime or just entering it if they can get a Mitchell, and he's that star quality that they need to take the heat off of Barrett and allow Barrett to do his thing under the radar. Now, I feel like that's what they have, the facilitator guard. They got a big man, Mitchell Robinson. Hopefully he can stay healthy for one season. They need him to stay healthy. But they need another big man, in my opinion. That could like a forward that could stretch the floor.
They need a better version of Enes Kanter.
Yes.
They need because I like Mitch. Mitch is a rim protector, but he's not good play. He's not a big body. They need a big body. I agree.
Agreed. But listen, Tana, again, that's us talking basketball. That's us talking sports for everybody. I try to do a little thing for everybody. Me and Tana here could chop it up all night long. We don't want to bore you guys, but listen, Tana, appreciate you for coming on. You're the best, man. Hopefully we meet up somewhere, be a Giants game, Mets game, or on one of the pods. We'll figure it out. Man,
I saw you guys hanging out at bars. Set it up, man. You tell me a Met game you guys want to be at. I'm there, man. Just let me know.
All right, my man. Be good.
Be good,
appreciate
everybody.
You.
Have a good night.
Later. All right, listen, I'm going to bring all you guys in here. I appreciate you all. You guys are the best. We can't do without you guys, as always. Let's all drink up if you have it. Sills Army, shout out Monty, baby. He's leading the charge. R0, hope you're out there. If not, fuck you. you leave me dry. Leave me hanging dry, bro. Hey, listen, Sarge, appreciate you, buddy. And the whole chat, we love you guys. We love the shit out of you guys. And we'll see you back here next Tuesday. Hopefully, listen, we're going to have a new team next Tuesday. There's going to be some additions coming in. And like I said, we set that over under at 4.5. It's going to be right around there. 4 new key pieces to this team that, again, handpicked by Shane and Dable and Kafka and Wink. Unlike the guys that they've inherited, that they can't get rid of. These are their selections. Now let's see what Shane can do here. I'm excited. And again, they thank all you guys for coming on and sharing your thoughts with me, man. Appreciate y'all. Later, guys.
Good night, guys.
Have a good night, everybody.
Peace.